We all hear that seeing is believing, but the first images we see are not always the whole story, even when they tell important parts of the story. Like this instantly infamous image of a criminal rioter lounging at Speaker Pelosi's desk. It's outrageous for many reasons, and impeachment managers cited it as part of a much wider plot to attack the Speaker and her staff.
The mob continued to look for Speaker Pelosi throughout the time they occupied the Capitol, including invading her offices. Trump's mob ransacked the Speaker of the House's office. They terrorized her staff.
Impeachment managers telling the Senate about the man you see at the desk, Richard Barnett, now indicted for violent and unlawful entry of a restricted building and theft. He sat so comfortably there, grinning in Speaker Pelosi's office, brandishing stolen items, his feet up on the desk. Manager Plaskett contrasting video of other rioters lying to police and claiming to have no weapons, when Barnett was actually one of several people who, in addition to what you see here, in addition to what was immediately obvious, he was also, in fact, carrying a weapon into the Capitol.
The world is all now too familiar with the images from these slides. If you look closely, however, at the now infamous pictures of Barnett with his feet on the desk, you might see something that you didn't notice previously. Here's a better look. As this photo highlights, he's carrying a stun gun tucked into his waistband.
So a picture that was disturbing at first sight for one reason is actually clearly dangerous for other reasons. You can believe your eyes, but there are things your eyes don't always see without more evidence and context, which is why trials matter for pursuing a full truth. They happen in public so people learn the evidence regardless of what the jury ultimately decides. Just as other evidence shows Barnett holding those items he was holding up there inside the office as he left, which he confessed to with utter contempt and zero remorse, telling a reporter why he stole this mail.
I didn't steal it. I bled on it because they were macing me and I couldn't see. And so I figured, well, I'm in her office. I got blood in her office. I'll put a quarter on her desk, even though she ain't worth it. And I left her a note on her desk that says, Nancy Big O is here, you.
He now sits in jail awaiting trial because he was denied bail by the presiding judge, who noted outrage over Barnett's obvious sense of entitlement and utter contempt for a system after publicly desecrating the Speaker's office. Now, that's a legal part of this process, the impeachment trial, which taught us more about what he was really up to, armed during his trespass, and his own criminal process, which will continue to play out. But I want you to know tonight, these stories are with us in America. They will continue to reverberate, including across the culture. There's a brand new song by artist Jay-Z with also lyrics by the late Nipsey Hussle. And it's striking to hear Jay-Z speaking to an audience of millions, really in the United States and around the world, referring to this very incident to call out what he sees as the hypocrisy of the system. The brand new song is called What It Feels Like. And it refers as well to the infamous image of Richard Barnett's feet up on the Speaker's desk. And Jay-Z discusses losing respect for a system that would ever allow any of this. And on this topic, Jay gets the last word.
You know they hate when you become more than they expect. You let them crack or storm your capital, put their feet up on your desk, and yet you talking tough to me. I lost all my little respect.
Lost all my little respect. I'm joined now by United States Senator Richard Blumenthal of Connecticut, who serves on the Judiciary Committee. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me, as always, Ari.
There's many aspects to this. First, your thoughts on how this reverberates across the culture. Many outraged by that image. The managers, you were in the well when they added context to the armed way that Barnett was trespassing, and as well as those thoughts from Jay-Z.
What is so powerful about those images, Ari, and thank you for recounting this part of the horrific story, is that we need to reverse the rising tide of extremist violence in this country. The mob that Donald Trump mobilized was armed. The Capitol Police and Metropolitan Police recovered firearms on that day. And that mob is still out there and still dangerous. And part of the reason that I believe we need a 9/11 commission, that type of commission, and I'm drafting a bill that I hope will be bipartisan, is to uncover all the causes, impose accountability, and provide more protection against that kind of a mob, that violent extremism.
Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.